Hey you guys, I'm so excited. Today I'm going to review a new laser for you. This is the GENMITSU L8 from Sain Smart. Now Sain Smart, they are very well known for making CNC machines and 3D printers, and they also have lasers. So I was super excited when they reached out to me and asked me if I would like to review their 20 watt laser. They also have a 40 watt laser. But I do have the 20 watt in here and I want to talk to you about it. We'll talk about the pros, the cons, and if you are on the lookout for a laser, should you get one of these lasers. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Now I'm going to show you some tests that I've done with this laser, and then I'm going to turn on the laser and show you some things on the computer, some things that I think it will help you a lot and save you a lot of time. The first engraving I've tried with this laser was this loon over here, and as you can see, I almost burned through this basswood. I was very confident that I knew the settings just based on the fact that I've tested many lasers before, so I pretty much know what kind of settings it needs for the power it has. But I was pretty wrong and I burned through the wood, and then I lowered it too much and did this engraving, and as you can see, that's just, I mean, it's engraved, but I don't feel anything with my hand. I like my engraving to be just a little bit deeper. So that was my first test that I tried when I first turned on the machine. Then from there, I pulled out that, you guys are familiar probably with that tulip engraving that I've done many times with all kinds of lasers, because I know exactly what that engraving should look like. So I've tried to engrave it on this basswood and it was doing really good right there, and then I had a temporarily table where my laser was sitting, so it's close to my exhaust fan. And I bumped the table, and because I bumped the table, the laser stopped, because it does have all those safety features. So that's why the engraving stopped right there. So the safety feature works. And then after that happened, I had to restart it and engrave the tulip photo right there. So that worked out really well, and because it worked so well, I decided to do it for a real project, not just for testing. So I took some aromatic cedar and I went to engrave with the same settings that I had onto the basswood over here. These are the settings. So I went to engrave with the same settings on my aromatic cedar, and it was not going so well. It was too burned, and you know, every wood reacts different to laser. Then I tried on the other side and it was better, but it was not perfect. And then I finally dialed in the settings, so it looked really good on my next try. So this is what the engraving looks like. And really nice, but like as you saw, it took me many tries to get the perfect settings. So learn from me and do a test engraving first on the material you are going to work with. I'm going to show you, after I show you a couple of more things, I'm going to show you on LightBurn how to set material test files, and it's really easy. So don't purchase them. Don't go. When I first got my first laser, I know I went to Etsy and I purchased so many test files, and I spent like, I don't know, $30, and they're all available to you on LightBurn. You can just make it yourself, and I'm going to show you how. So that is the engraving from this machine after many tests. And then let's see, I did a deep engraving and of this hummingbird, and I filled it with epoxy. So that's the way it looks. I'm not very happy the way green looks against this walnut, but anyway, I did that. And then I was going to do another epoxy engraving using this file from this horse, but then I cut it too small and I went ahead and did it a little bit larger. So there it is. It's the horse. I cut it from walnut and then I glued it against the maple piece. And I am going to fill those with black epoxy. At least that's my plan for now. So as you can see, very detailed cutting, clean cutting, no scorching. I didn't sand this, I didn't do anything. Just cut it with the laser, and now it's waiting for filling with epoxy. I also cut this one over here, this inlay. And what I did, this one, I just cut the design out of maple, and then I cut the same design out of walnut, and I swapped up the pieces. You see it's laminated, it's glued, two pieces together, maple and walnut. So I swapped the pieces. This is the one that I glued, and then this one, well, this one is not glued in, and it just fell apart because all the pieces were not glued. But anyway, I'll show you some of the pieces so you can see this is the maple parts that I cut for this one. Well, I cut it from this in here, and then the walnut parts that I cut from here, they go into this design. So you end up with two designs from one. So as you can see, the cuts are very, very clean, no charring, very, very nice cuts. The engraving is great as well. Now let's fire up the laser and the computer, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that I have found out about this laser. Can you see? Let me get you even a little bit closer. And as you can see right now, the air assist light, it tells us we do not have enough air. And that's because it's pretty much off from the dial on the front. Remember this dial that I showed you that controls the air assist? If I increase that and I turn it to the right, you see it turns green, so we have enough airflow. Now, here is where I had a lot of trouble. If I turn off the machine, so now the machine is off, but the air assist is still at maximum power. When I will turn on the machine, because I stopped it with the power at maximum for air assist, the light is going to show red. So you see, even though our air assist is still at maximum, because that's where we left it last time, the light shows red, and there is lots of air coming from underneath, so I know the air assist, it's truly on and it's working. So why is the light red? Well, let me turn it off again. I did contact Sain Smart, and they've told me that the air assist has to be off when you start the machine and then turn it on afterwards. And they explained to me scientifically why that happens, and it made sense in that time, but I can't remember, so I can't repeat it to you. But just know that if you have that problem and that air assist light stays red, the machine is working, it doesn't affect it, it works just as well. Like I said, it was lots of air coming from underneath. There's just something with the sensor. You have to have the air at off when you turn on the machine and then increase the power of the air assistant. That will make it green. So let's try that again. So now it's off, and I'm gonna turn it to the right, and you see it turns green. So that's something to keep in mind if you have that problem. Now I'm going to, at my computer, turn on my computer, and I'm going to record my screen. I apologize for the noise, but you know, the machine it has the air assist on, so it makes a lot of noise. Let me see if I turn off the air assist. There you go, got a little bit quieter. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to record my screen so you can see exactly what I'm doing. And we should be recording, let's see. Yes, we are recording. So here is LightBurn, and let me connect this laser to my LightBurn. You'll go here into your devices, and you will choose your machine. This is the L8. And you can see the camera here on the right side. You will see the camera over here. This is the live view of the camera. And let's say, let me put a design in here. We're just gonna draw a square really quickly. And let me make it engrave so we can see it even better for you guys out there on YouTube. Go back to camera. And as you can see, this is the live view on the right side. But if I go and click here on Update Overlay, you see how we get on our main workspace, we get the overlay of what camera is seeing. And that helps us for framing our work. So let me put a piece of material on the bed of the machine. So now I put a piece of material on the bed of the machine, and now when I update the overlay, you will see there is our material. So now we can take our design and move it around and place it wherever we want on that piece of material. And that is super, super helpful for framing. And it's great having a camera and not have to always do the, framing with the laser on at low power and watch it where it go and so on. So that's something that I wanted to show you. Another thing that I wanted to show you is how to do those test files so you find your settings for engraving a lot better. So the way you find those, you go to Laser Tools and then you go to Material Test. And then into the Material Test, you see you already have here, it comes with a Material Test. You can change this if you want to change, let's say, the speed, if you wanted to go minimum to be higher or lower, or the maximum you want to change it. You can choose how many columns and rows and so on. You can change all these settings here, and then it's important into the material settings. This is where you choose if you want fill, that means if you want to do testing for engraving, or if you want to do line, that is testing for cutting. So let's see, let's put it on line. So we'll pretend we're going to do some test material for cutting. And then if I click on preview, you will see this is our test grid for cutting. You can see how simple it is, and there's no need to go buy tests online because you can really make yourself. Let's see if we'll make it for engraving. I change this to fill. And then when I go to preview, there you go. Now we have our engraving test. And then you would just go and engrave it. You'll go to start, and then you would engrave it on your piece of material. And that's how you make your test engraving and cutting. So you saw how easy it is to do a test engraving or cutting, and I recommend you do that. Otherwise you'll go through lots of materials like I did and try to guess, and you might be right or you might not be right, and eventually you'll get your result, but it will just take you a lot longer and you will waste a lot more material. Now, like I said, this is the 20-watt machine. When it comes to cutting capabilities, it can cut in a single pass. You can cut more than one pass, but in a single pass you can cut 12 millimeter pine wood and 8 millimeter of black acrylic. One other thing that I should mention is the laser spot. That is the curve of your laser, and the laser spot for this machine, it is 0.07 by 0.13. And that is important if you do inlays like I do, because you will cut a pocket of whatever size design you want, and then when you cut the insert that goes into the pocket, you have to offset it by that amount of the laser curve in order for the pieces to be exactly the same size and you get a perfect fit. Now, before I take you and show you around the laser, let's talk a little bit about the price. The 20-watt laser that I have right here, this morning when I looked on their website, it was selling for $899. So for less than $900, I believe this is a really, really good price for what you are getting. As you will see, you get a lot in this package. So let's take a look around the laser and see what you're getting. Now here you're looking at the front of the laser. As you can see, the laser has this acrylic protective cover all around 360 degrees. It does open just like this. And you can see this one, it's a little bit more clear than this, and that's because I did not remove all the sticky protective film. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to remove this one. The reason why I didn't remove it is because I'll be giving this laser away and I want it to look as new as possible. So as you can see, you remove the protective film and then you're left with this very, very beautiful plexiglass. It has a door. This door opens just like this, and here we have the camera. This camera works in LightBurn, and I will show you exactly how it works. Then if we look inside, let me bring you a little bit closer. It comes with a honeycomb grid, and it has the steel plate underneath the honeycomb grid as well. What I like about Sain Smart, the way they did their honeycomb grid is, let me see if I can bring you even closer. You see, they have these brackets into the frame of the lasers. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these brackets will allow you, the honeycomb grid fits perfectly in between those brackets. So that way it's always aligned in exact the same spot. And then also they give you this ruler that has magnets on the back So this magnetic ruler will allow you to position it anywhere on your honeycomb grid. And now if you need to repeat a project and you don't want to have to keep framing, you can know exactly where you placed it and just go one after other, and you know they will be placed in exact same spot, because now you have rulers on the side and you have this ruler over here, so you can position everything very, very exact. So I love, love, love that feature. I wish more lasers will include that. Now here is the front of the machine, and of course we have the safety key. Important, many people do not know what this is for. This is for, you can remove the key, turn it off, remove the key, and that way nobody can come and push on buttons. If your laser stays plugged in, then you can, safely close it, and your little children coming in the shop and pushing red bright buttons, they're not going to be able to turn on the laser. So we have a key. This is where the alarm goes if you detect, if the laser detects flame. So you will hear a beep coming from over there. This is the emergency stop button. If you do have a flame, just quickly push it down just like that, and now it stops really, really quickly. To release it, twist, and it pops right back out. You have the on and off switch. I honestly do not know what this play button is. This is how you control your air assist. This is the dial all the way to the right, it's maximum air assist, and then to the left all the way it's off. This is the cable for the camera. So this goes from the machine into your computer. Here is how your computer gets connected, USB-C to USB-A, I believe. Here you have your power of your laser, and here is your air assist electric cord, and then the air assist hose. So those are all the buttons in the front. The machine also comes with built-in razors. So I'm gonna move you to the side. Let's see if you can see. And if I lift up the machine, you see it has this fit that you can lower. And I'm only gonna do the front ones. You see this metal fit over here? So those fold in and out, so you can raise your machine really, really easily. It's all built in. And I believe the maximum height you can engrave with this machine using the razor, it is, let me look, I have some notes, I believe it's 3.15 inches. Of course, if you need to go even higher, you can probably put the laser on some wooden blocks and raise it even more. So that is the front of the machine. And then let's see, what else do I have to show you? It does come with air assist, your typical fish tank kind of air assist. It does come with a mini SD card and reader. That's where your files are on how to install the laser, some test files, and everything you need. I'm not sure if you can see, but we do have limit switches. It's this little red points. There's limit switches everywhere, so we can use absolute coordinates. This is the laser module itself. It has 3 built-in focal lengths. Let me move you to the right side so you can see. So the way you adjust focus, let me get a piece of material. The way you adjust focus on this laser, this red dial, you can loosen, and now you can move the laser up and down. And then you have this knob over here that you see it has 3 notches, and notches, is that what you call it? 3 knobs. The first one is for engraving, so if I turn this like that, now I can lower it, and that's the focus for engraving, and then I will just tighten the red button and turn this back, and now we're focused for engraving. If you are cutting through thicker material, you will want to go to the second notch and do that, and so on. You have another one. If you're cutting through even thicker material, then you want to go to the third one. So that is the way you adjust focus on this machine. It does have a port here for roller. It did not come with roller. I did not look on their website to see if they are selling rollers or not, but there is a port in there, so that makes me believe that they do. Now, I think the biggest benefit of this machine is the fact that it's fully compatible with LightBurn, and I cannot emphasize that enough, how important that is to me. all the other machines I've tested, the ones that are fully enclosed, they are not fully compatible with LightBurn. The X-Tool machines, they are compatible, but not 100%. There are functions and stuff that are not available onto the LightBurn. And then We Create only works with their own, program that is not a complete program. It's really good, but it's not complete. And LightBurn is really the only one program that I recommend for laser engraving. And This machine works perfect with it. And Even with my X-Tool machine, when I design or if I need to modify a design, I usually take it in LightBurn. I modify it, I fix it, I do what I need to do, then I export it as SVG, and then I import it into the X-Tool creative space. So it's just a few extra steps that I have to do because my machine is not fully compatible with LightBurn. But this one it is, so for that I think it's totally worth it. The price, like I said, it is very affordable for what you are getting. You are getting a solid, really good machine for a very affordable price. Now, I hope this was helpful to you and you learned something new. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Skylar Ewing, and I'll see you in my next video.